Hello, my name is Beatrice Dupuy, and I'm one of the co-directors of Circle.
I'm Chantel Warner, and I'm the other co-director of Circle. The topic we had originally proposed for the Intercultural Competence Conference in 2022 was intercultural learning abroad, pre, during, and post pedagogical interventions for deeper student learning and engagement. We had proposed this topic back in 2018 when we submitted the full proposal for Title VI funding. And this was inspired by conversations among colleagues and on our own campus. And we really wanted to highlight the complexity of thinking that had developed over the last few decades around intercultural learning in study and work abroad contexts. And then the pandemic arrived. And in the US, it arrived just weeks after our last ICC conference. Study and work abroad programs were canceled. International studies offices called students back to their home campuses. Students and staff were left to navigate the evolving messages around safety and travel and visas as they weighed where home was as much of the world sheltered in place. The mobility assumed by the topic intercultural learning abroad suddenly seemed very far removed from most of our realities. It was in this moment of stillness and the global holding pattern that characterized the first year of the COVID-19 pandemic that a new topic began to seem more pressing to us: decentering mobility in intercultural education, engagement, equity, and access. While there were aspects of the pandemic that seemed to be shared across continents and cultures, in other ways, the global health crisis had heightened already existing inequities and inaccessibilities. Some of the questions that we had in mind for the original topic, such as critical analyses of different experiences learning abroad, could also fall under the header decentering mobility. But new questions also emerged. For example, what are the potentials and pitfalls of current models, concepts, and frameworks for intercultural learning? In what ways is mobility potentially romanticized or reified within them? What kinds of learning and learning outcomes do different ways of thinking about mobility privilege and encourage? And what are the relative roles of virtual and physical mobility?
The virtual conferences that have become part of academic life in the last couple of years also decenter mobility. While back in summer 2021, when we were planning on hosting the conference in our usual hybrid format, it became rapidly clear in late fall 2021 that the pandemic was still very much with us and that we would be hosting it virtually. We know that many of you had hoped to be back in sunny Tucson this winter, but we also realized that by adopting this virtual format, we made it possible for many more of you to join us. With us this weekend, we have participants from 30 countries and 30 US states. We also have 35 scholarship recipients from 16 countries. These scholarships for educators and students were made possible by the support from the University of Arizona's College of Humanities, University of Arizona's Global Office, and two other National Language Resource Centers, the Center for Advanced Language Proficiency, Education and Research, CalPER, and the Center for Open Educational Resources and Language Learning, CORAL. We're also grateful to the many other sponsors who made this conference possible. We thank the Center for Applied Language Studies, the UA Latin American Studies, the UA Center for Middle Eastern Studies, the National Foreign Language Resource Center, the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences, the Second Language Acquisition and Teaching Program, the Georgia State University Center for Urban Language Teaching and Research. Thanks to all who are supporting this conference and to all of you for attending. We look forward to getting to meet many of you at the talks and at the virtual happy hours this weekend.
And enjoy the conference.